Evening. Yes, this is a significant day for some community members here at Kennedy Catholic High School. It began with an announcement from the Archdiocese and ended with a group of parents and students coming up with a plan for change. So earlier today, more than 100 students and parents gathered at a church in Normandy Park. And again, this was just students. There wasn't any faculty involved. Just this group of students and parents talked about what needs to change at their high school. They're not only talking about discrimination against LGBTQ staff or students, but how to make it a better environment for everyone, especially Black and brown students as well. And even earlier in the day, Archbishop Paul Aitchen, he announced that the school president, Mike Prato, is taking a leave of absence until the end of the school year. The Archbishop also announced that he's forming a task force to see what is the best way to blend Catholic teachings with a changing community moving forward. Now here's a quote from Archbishop Aitchen. He says, "It is abundantly clear to me that our Catholic schools are serving a much broader community than in the past. We as church need to understand that people in our culture are coming to our Catholic schools with various experiences." Parents coming out of that meeting say there are some social teaching in the church that they want to see changed.
Or control. And what is in our control right now is what happens at Kennedy Catholic. And we have to start there. If other people choose to take on our cause or go bigger and they listen and we inspire someone, then that's amazing and that's fantastic and that's phenomenal. But right now our focus is our school and healing and preparing for the next generation.
Another focus of that group of parents and students is new leadership here at Kennedy Catholic. They say the temporary leave of absence of the school president is only the tip of the iceberg. They want to see a permanent change there as well as a change in the principal leadership. And they're also planning a big rally for March 7th. Their goal is to get as much attention on this issue as possible to get the Pope's attention in the Vatican. Guys?
All right, Vanessa, thank you.